We're all works in progress. And this is a beautiful thing. Nobody will ever fully make it. Nobody will ever fully arrive and be perfect because perfection doesn't really exist. We're always going to be a work in progress. We'll always have some little amount of extra growth that we can put into ourselves. We can always become better. And I know a lot of people will view that in a more negative route because they want to arrive at some point. They want to hit that noble goal of perfection, but it doesn't exist. And I believe that goal is only something people want because of the way society is nowadays, where it praises these ideals that we can't really attain. So it makes people want to hit perfection. But I wager, if not for all this clever marketing in society and social media making people become incredibly insecure and constantly comparing themselves to others, we probably wouldn't care about becoming perfect. We would be comfortable in ourselves, and that's good enough. Being a work in progress is not a bad thing. It's not something that should make you become depressed. If anything, it should make you feel more relaxed, because it shows that there isn't really a point where you are going to be like an amazing human being. I mean, obviously you can get to a point where a lot of people will really enjoy your company because you've worked on yourself enough to be incredibly fun to be around, to be a pleasure to be around. But we're never going to hit some ideal level of perfect where there's no more room left to grow anymore. That's just not a thing. And it should really make you feel less, how do I put it, perhaps anxious about your self-development. It should make you be more patient with yourself. Because, there really aren't levels that you can compare yourself to, things that you need to attain at any given moment. That just doesn't exist. We're all works in progress. The levels that exist for each of us are things you create in your own mind. It's whatever you believe you need to hit. And I've found many people quite often make their goal levels too high. And when I'm saying levels here, I mean levels of personal development. So let's say you could have a level being you want to be confident in yourself. And another one being you want to hit some level of physical fitness or something. You want to be able to run 10 miles or something. I don't know. Basically, those are what the levels would be. They're our own personal goals, our own metrics for our personal development. But that should be something you create yourself. It shouldn't be based on society and what everybody else tells you to do. There's some very common societal goals of by 30 you should get married, by 35 you should have a family, you should buy a house at 30 as well, which I don't even know if that's attainable anymore with how messed up the economy is and how everything has, or inflation, basically, should I say, and just the fact that wages have been stagnant for so freaking long. So a lot of these goals that society will implant in everyone's minds are ridiculous. We shouldn't hold ourselves to them. You should understand that you're a work in progress and create your own goals for yourself. Don't let society dictate the life you need to live. It's stupid as hell, and it makes so many of us unhappy because we're comparing ourselves to a timeline that isn't even our own. Why should we all live in the same exact frickin' ways and do the same things at the same exact ages? That's dumb, because we're all different. We're all completely different. We all have way different personalities. So know that, understand your work in progress, and create your own timeline for yourself. Create your own goals. Do not live in these ridiculous ways society wants you to. And again, do not view you being a work in progress as a bad thing. View it as something freeing. I mean, I can tell you right now, I make these videos and I've had people almost believe that I've made it, but I haven't. I still mess up more than I would like to, and I still have a lot of room for growth. I still haven't hit a point, I don't even know if this is possible, where you never feel anxious or stressed. I don't think it is really. I think we're all biological human beings. We can't escape our biology at some point, and there will be things that will constantly affect us no matter how much you work on yourself. I don't even know if you could hit a point where you're never jealous in any form, and I mean any form. So not only just having no level of jealousy surrounding your partner, that Is that attainable? Maybe it's attainable. You can certainly lose your jealousy in some ways, or you can at least get to a point where if your partner were to cheat on you, you wouldn't take it personally. You just leave them in the dust and move on and find someone better for you who won't cheat on you. But yeah, my whole point here is there are probably limits to what we are even capable of achieving when it comes to our own personal development. And yet so often we want to become almost inhuman. We want to attain levels that probably aren't possible for us because, like I said, we're biological animals pretty much. We're part of the animal kingdom, even though we feel like we've risen above it. But that's not really true because there's all these years of evolution behind each and every one of us in the ways that our body functions, in the way that our brain functions. Good luck rising above that, right? Like there's so many unconscious processes our brain is executing on a daily basis. You can't control all of that. So of course we're going to act in ways that we may not desire sometimes because that biology will kick in and it'll override all the growth that we put into ourselves. That does happen. You can definitely make it happen way less than before, but I don't know if you can ever escape it. So we're all works in progress, and it's a beautiful thing. Nobody will ever be perfect on this planet. Don't believe anyone who's telling you they're perfect. If someone acts like they've made it, like they're a guru or something and they're a perfect human being, don't listen to what they say. That's like, if anything, I'd be like, okay, this person's trying to sell me something that's probably not good for me, or they're just a complete charlatan, a complete liar. I'm not going to listen to them because this sounds really unhealthy. Nobody's perfect, and anyone who proclaims themselves to be or who even tries to make themselves off to be perfect, that's someone to be very wary of. So yeah, I wanted to make this video because I was having that thought earlier about how, yeah, we pretty much are all works in progress. And to me, that is a beautiful thought. It really is. It's something kind of freeing. It's something that should make us more comfortable in ourselves. We should be able to accept ourselves, knowing that we're never going to be perfect. And no matter what amount of personal growth you pursue, and no matter how much you work on yourself, you will never be perfect. You will never hit a point where you will make no mistakes anymore for the rest of your life. Like, that's not a thing. You'll never hit a point where you completely manage your reaction to your emotions to the point you never do something that you didn't want to do. Or I don't know, there's probably a better way of phrasing it, but basically you can't even hit a point where your emotions will no longer make you do foolish things and that sort of thing either. You can definitely, as I said earlier, completely lessen that to really to the point where it barely affects you anymore, but you can't get to the point where it no longer affects you at all. Like, good luck trying to do that. We're all animals at the end of the day, so just give yourself more credit, be more patient with yourself, and just try to be more comfortable in your own skin, because we're all works in progress at the end of the day. No matter how great someone comes off, they still make mistakes. They still do bad things from time to time that they probably wish they wouldn't have done, things they may regret. If they could go back in time and do something a bit different, they'd probably change some things. That's going to hold true for everyone on this planet, even the best people out there. So yeah, understand your work in progress, give yourself a pat on the back because you're doing the best you can, and just keep making sure that you're living in line with yourself and not these ridiculous timelines that society tries to throw on us and make it seem like we all must live in the same stupid way. But yeah, this is pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. I truly hope you enjoyed this one. Definitely let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci!